Hi, Vince Arcuri. Someone asked me to give them some information on some of the products that I use, and I'm going to do that now. Let me just turn my equipment on over here, my lights and stuff. Alright, this is my studio where I do my video stuff in here. If you ever seen any of my old 8mm film, I converted. That's some of my conversion equipment over here, and these are some of my vintage model 66s over here. 1940, this one here, and that one's a 1923, and that's a 1957 model 401A, the zigzag. That's one of the best of the zigzags. Alright, I'm going to show you my embroidery stuff in a second. I'm going to have to make more videos with the Janome Memory Craft Professional 6500, and that's the one with that nice big table for doing what do you call those things again? the big blankets, quilts. And this is my 5-color professional, Singer Professional 5 serger, and the rest of this is that's my heavy-duty Sony HD camera, and the one I'm videoing this with is the latest of the Sony. The one I'm using is similar in quality to that one there, which is a 2006 model. And the one I'm holding now is a 2011. Okay. So, some people have asked me what I use to make this embroidery. This embroidery is done on a denim. This is a white denim. Alright, and this is I don't have my ruler handy. It's a nice size. Look at this. Look at this mess. Talk about messes. Alright, anyway, some person, a lady I think, asked me what I covered this photo stitch image with, and the product that I used was Sulky, which is a registered trademark, water soluble stabilizer, color translucent, and the weight is light. Instructions included in here. Item number 486-08, and it's 7.5 inches wide times 9 yards in length. Now, the fact that the hoop, this was trimmed after I took this out of the hoop. Now, if you look at this product, it will fit in the hoop. See, as you can see here, it overlaps the hoop on both sides. So this will go into the hoop. Now, certain things, like when I did this here, what I did was, once I put a stabilizer in. I'm jumping ahead of myself. I put this stabilizer in. Let me see. Somewhere in here I have the label. All right. Now I've got to put this back in there. All right. This stabilizer is called Tear and Wash, and that's a trademark name. And it is a heavy stabilizer. You can see here it is heavy, and I use that under everything. Now, when I did these bibs, you see some of these I actually did not give. I didn't give these. These were just tests. This didn't come good. I was having some issues with the bottom tension. All right, I showed you this, and I showed you the other. And then here's another product. That's the same product. Okay, that's another roll. I like it so well that. All right. Now, when I did this, I was starting to say, I put the stabilizer down in the hoop. Okay. And then I had everything laid out, ready to go into the hoop. And then what I did is I took some of the Sulky KK2000 temporary spray adhesive. This is very, very good. It's safe for you. It says safe for the planet, maximum coverage. This is one of the best. It's non-toxic, odorless, clear, non-flammable, has a lot of positive things, more precise. Anyway, what I did was on the stabilizer that was laid in the hoop, I sprayed some of this. And you could just cover the edges of the hoop a little bit if you want, so you don't get a buildup. So I sprayed the area, and then right away you could put this down. Now, if you want, these hoops come with a clear plastic grid. The grid you could lay over just to see where you want. You could put, like in the center of this thing, you could put a tiny little X, just where the center of this space is, so that you could lay this out. So then when you put the grid on top of it, you position your stabilizer with this. You make the stabilizer large enough so that you could move the stabilizer with this under the grid to the position where the grid's lined up with this. This is lined up with the center of the grid. And then you put it in position and you put the hoop together. Then, of course, with these machines, once you start them up, and once you, like if you import your, like I do, is right in here, I use the USB, and then you pull up on the screen, when this is on, you pull up to read from the USB. See, right now it's going to tell me to touch, it's going to move, okay. It's going to come to the center, press a foot, alright, raise the press a foot. So everything's going to line itself into position. Okay, so this then, you press this, load USB media, which I don't have one here, so the media would go into there, and then it would load off the USB the PES file that you put into it. Now, flash will only hold and is only usable with about 20 images. Even though the flash, like my flash, is a 4 gigabyte, you could only use 20 on there, according to Brother. And of course, the card reader that I use with the software, I'm jumping ahead, the software that I have is Brother PE Design Next. It's the higher level. Yeah, been secure again. I got interrupted when I was giving a demonstration on my Brother PE 770. What I was showing was, here's a USB here, and this is 2 gigabyte. Now it says here, I wrote, and I got this right out of the book, before I said something that was an error, I have here that these will hold usably 200 PES maximum. That's quite a bit. I'm sorry about the 20. Alright, so again, you whenever you turn these things on, it will always, everything gets centered. Okay, now you press the USB here, and you see right away, let me see if I could, I got a lot of lights on here. Okay, alright, I got a couple of pictures in here. Here's a car. That's a little PES. That's a car from the 50s, and here, of course, if I go like this, it'll bring that one up. Okay, see, I pressed the arrow, and that loaded my image of this. I got 15 different stitches, different colors. Now here's the color check. You could look at this right here. You click on that, and then this is the first one. The first one is 005. Now, here is the products. It comes with the different hoops. Comes with a small supply of Polystar. It's polyester thread. And what I usually do is I buy pre-round bobbins. I get a couple 100 for so much money, and it's supposed to be the cheapest way to buy it. Cap hoop. Excuse me. And then here's the manual I printed. This is the manual. Look at the size. Some big manual, huh? Oh, this is something I highly recommend. It's called Anatomy of a Design by Lindy Goodall. Sorry. She ran a professional digitizing company for, I think, 14 years until she sold it. But anyway, I purchased this book from her. That's her there. That's her there. You know, it gives you her background. And as you can see, I printed it out on both sides. And she gives you the anatomy of making a design in a program. See, like I have a couple of programs. And then of course here is the Brother manual that I have, that I printed this out also. See? I printed it on my printer. I could do it on both sides. Okay. So, all right, that's that. Now here's what I do with my. I buy my thread. It comes in a big box like this. See? It comes like this. Comes in a big box like that. Nice, well-made box. And there are 2 layers. This layer is on the bottom because of the numbering sequence, and of course it starts out. Every one of these has an actual name and a number on it. Right there. It says 50 weight, 100 meter, 00 weight, Polystar. Okay, now Polystar embroidery thread. And every one of these is numbered, and as I use them, I write the number here so that I could see it when I'm looking over here, and it says first color 005. Okay, so this is 005 right here. That's 005. Now, when you're embroidering, now just say one particular color. You don't particularly like this green. Just say it's calling out for a 509 leaf green, and you like something darker. Of course, you got a darker one here, but you could substitute. You make a little note somewhere that you did that, though. This way, when you go to reproduce it. All right, so I showed you that. And I showed you, here's my table. This is perfect. You know, this goes up. You know, if you want to. These come with a nice cover. You know, and you could put your supplies whatever you want. You know, yeah. I got these plastic things here that are all over the place. You could pick up nice, you know, vintage looking stuff like this. These are nice too, to store stuff. All right, I showed you this. All right, and then of course you go through 807 and all these colors. If you want, you could take them out and have them ready. Have them all ready. See, as you go through, oh, I'm sorry. As you go through and you see all the colors, and here is what that color will be working on. Here is what that color will be working on. You watch when I move this one with the darkened face and the eyebrows, that'll move here. See? And that's a 085. That one there. Alright, that will be a 085. We're getting into the skin colors now. Alright, I think I showed you basically. Here's someone asked me about threading a bobbin. Here's bobbin thread right here, and there's only black and this color too. Now this is 90 weight, so you know it is polyester. You could say, well, why can't I use anything? Well, that's what they recommend. You see, 90 weight, and these are 50 weights. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It's a very nice machine. They have a very good reputation. This particular model, I'll show you how to check it. You see this little thing right here? You press that. That's the information that's in here. The first thing it's telling me is that the thread that I'm designed program for right now is called embroidery. Now, if we have the book handy, I think this is it right here. You have the book. If you have the machine, you should have this book. Now, thread chart conversion. You got embroidery, you got country, you got Madeira polyester, you got Madeira rayon, you got sulky, very popular. You got RNA polyester. Now, they give you the basic color, and then over here would be the number related. Now, I'll show you something about this. See, it continues here. See, it goes all the way up to, I have 61 colors. Now, if you have an issue where certain things ain't coming out right, the first, when I hit this, before I hit this, first thing that comes up is the thread, pictures, polyester. Now, if I went like this, watch, country, see what I was talking about? Madeira polyester, Madeira rayon, sulky, right? So this is the one we want, and there's numbers up here too. Name of color, time, needle count. All right, so basically this is the name of the color. Right here we're talking about embroidery. This machine, this is what it would set up as. Now, if you want information on time, stitch time, needle count, and so forth, that information's here. Okay, now let's see. There's also more information. Let me see if I could find it. There's also a serial number of the machine. Let me see how to get into that. I know I did it one time. The serial number of the machine. It wouldn't be that, it wouldn't be this. Ah, this is it. Okay, it's this one here. And then to change this information, it's line selected by these arrows. To change this whole screen, okay, I'm set up for inch, embroidery tension -2. This you could change by doing this, and you play around with this. Usually the machines supposedly are set to 0. Maximum embroidery speed, I have 650 here. That's the maximum this thing will race. Now there is a version, there is a machine number somewhere in here. And right here. You see? Number, version 1.2. Now here's where that's important. I don't have the box. I got the box in the other room. The reason why this house looks like this now is because we got an empty nest. My children moved out. They're all grown up, have their own kids. And this is my gadget room. All right. here's the box. I try to keep all my boxes. Now, my brother came in this box. This machine right here, if you read, downloadable embroidery designs exclusively for brothers embroidery machine owners from iBroidery.com. Now, you go on that website, you could purchase things like Looney Tunes, Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, Pluto, Winnie the Pooh. You could, for maybe $4, $5, you can download like a PES file, so you could use it for all your products. You could use it for things around the house and so forth. There's thousands of designs, which is true. Now, when you go on that site, it's set up by brothers. They will ask you for the machine number. Now, initially, when I did it, it's not that I'm dumb or anything. I mean, I spent 48 and a half years in aviation. I retired as an inspector. But this is something, if a woman's doing this a year, 2 years, couple of months, I mean, she can make me look silly. All right, now, here's the company that I bought them from. Highly recommend them. Mr. Vac and Mrs. So. It's a family, and they're in Wantagh, New York. Highly recommend these people. They got their children working there, and they know machines. And Lisa she handles all the sewing stuff, and the husband Joe, he handles all the vacuum cleaners and various other things. Now, what I did was, I went to the back of the machine, and they wanted a number, so I said, hey, there's the number. I bought the machine, and there's my serial number. So I put that serial number in on iBroidery.com. I put all my name and everything else, and it said improper number. So I says, hey, I come up, took a picture with my camera. I said, that's the number. It's the number that's on the back. So finally, I call up, and the lady says to me, that's not the number we want. It's in the machine. I said, what do you mean in the machine? She says, you got to get it out on the screen. I said, how would I do that? And she told me. She says, you hit the little page. She says, and the machine should be set initially for embroidery. If you have a certain thread, if you bought a certain thread, like I was showing you in here. All right. Then she says, and the arrows left and right, the ones below, not the ones on top, she said the ones below, large arrow. She said you press them until you see number, version. She said now, if you got version 1.2, your machine is one of the ones that you could download. You will have this number that brother gave you with this version, and you're allowed to download it. She says now, if for some reason you don't have 1.2 loaded in this machine, and you have the paperwork saying that this machine is supposed to be one of the ones where you could download this, she said, download this driver, put it into a USB. She said, and load it into your. It was either that or I put a connector and I hooked it to my computer. I'm not sure which way I did it, but it just so happened I had the 1.2 came with this machine. So in the event You might be just on the borderline. You might be able to. Now, they came out with a different model other than the 770. It might have been a 776 or something that had this feature. Now, when I bought this machine, the lady told me that this machine doesn't have that feature. The other one's $100 more. She says, I can't see it worthwhile. So it just so happens when I got it home, I'm looking at the box, and I seen that this was iBroidery.com valid machine. So inside, I got this paperwork. They gave me the book. Go on this website, you know, which I did, and I got the Looney Tune. I bought a couple of the Tweety Birds, you know. Then I went on some other websites and I downloaded the a Trucker by Choice, and it says American by birth, Trucker by Choice, and then I added this in on the bottom. I added my son's name, and this I did on dungaree. You know, of course, denim has different weights and so forth. See, here was the first one I did that didn't come out right. I'm learning. And then I did a second one, although this came out nice. And the machine does do this. It does bend, creates an arch. But then I played around with it and I did this, and I'm an old truck mechanic also, so that to me is more accurate. Got the ribs on the box and everything else. Got the dual stacks, the windbreaker up here. Anyway, so I thought I'd share that with you. And I did a video on winding, and like a lot of old machines, when the bobbin's winding, when the thread gets thick enough, it unseats the bobbin winder. Now, I mean, I got this machine that will do that. This machine will do that. This machine does that too. Now on this machine, you could be sewing and winding the bobbin at the same time. But of course, this is a $1,300 machine. All right. Confuse everybody enough? So I think I showed you, you know, sewing runs into a little money, and well, for some people it could be a lot of money, but just buy what you need initially. You really don't need a serger, although they're nice to have. I did some crazy samples. Like I said, I got so much stuff I'm trying to do. This is using all 3 needles. I made an attempt. I did this with the serger. It's just, that's what one side looks like, and of course the other side. You see 3? I tried, somebody told me you could also do it with dungaree, with denim, right there. That's, so I was going to try that, because I like denim. Alright, I still have to put motors. You see these Model 66s? I actually sewed up. I sewed up this leather right here. Okay, that's a 1/4 inch thick. That's heavy belt leather, and 1.3 horsepower will do it. But I usually run, which I didn't put on yet. I usually run the 1.5 amp, rather. I didn't mean horsepower. So, okay. I think I showed you majority of stuff. Okay, I'll put put the lights off. Here's some fabric I pick up that I just love. Look at this. I just love this. Has all the old looking sewing machines, the old scissors. I buy very good scissors. I buy the Ginger brand, and then of course I got some see, Klaus. This is a big. Look at the size of this thing. Yeah. Okay. See, here's one of the first I did of the photo. This photo actually is my wife when she was younger. Now these are called jump stitches. You see how, and which means is that the machine will jump from one side of the face to the other to a certain color. And so far I haven't seen in my machine how to do away with that yet. I've been looking. I have not found that yet. Okay. I think all right, I think I did enough harm here. Put this off. I put my main switch off. And this way I can shut the room down. Alright everybody, and I thank you for watching. Vince Arcuri. Check out my channel. Vince A51.